Hey, friends, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. On today's episode, we're heading up to the Sault Ste Marie, to talk to Ken and Wilda from Bird's Eye Outfitters. Hope you enjoy the podcast. My guest today, as I said, Ken and Wilda from Bird's Eye Outfitters. Friends, how are you?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Coming to you from two locations.
Which is fine, right? You guys got to operate the business and operate the house and all of that stuff. And it's been a couple months,
Right.
Ken, since I've been able to see you guys in person. But we wanted to jump on this conversation and talk a little bit about the last 14 months and then what the remainder of 2021 looks like and beyond. But for people who might not be aware of the store, because during COVID, there was a whole bunch of people who have discovered the UP, right? They couldn't travel where they normally
Right.
went. And so they discovered, hey, Michigan's a pretty amazing place to travel. And they went to the UP. Can you guys walk through you're around year 5, the nexus of the store? What was the kind of thing that pushed you over the edge to create a store? And what does the store do up in the Sioux?
Put your feet up and kick back.
I got all the time in the world, man.
So many great things, so many great reasons.
And Wilda, jump in anytime. But I guess at the onset, when Wilda and I got together and we had worked for other people for a long time. She was a risk manager for 18 and a half years. And I'd run a Boys and Girls Club and then worked for the university. And we just always had this idea of something that needs to happen in Sault Ste. Marie and the Eastern Upper Peninsula. And it was, we love the area. And we listen to people say, oh, there's nothing to do, or it's cold, or whatever. And so, we thought, how can we celebrate what we've got around us? And what is it that we could do? We don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. So how do we get a paradigm shift and get people to think about things a little bit differently and really not take for granted what we're surrounded by? There's nowhere else on the planet that you have access to this much fresh water and this much wilderness combined. It's such a unique area that, so we decided, we need to be able to provide education to let people know that, it's safe to get out there, and then also make them comfortable.
And so let's pivot a little bit there, guys. And Wilda, I'll go to you first. What has the last 14 months been like for you guys as small business owners in the Sioux? What's it been like?
So a blessing and a little bit of a challenge at the same time, because we started Bird's Eye Outfitters. We actually had like two things. We had a roasting company come in and help us start a cafe, right? And then we also had Flanagan's Goat, which is a friend of ours, come in and they started, food, because that wasn't our initial thought process as far as food. Our initial thought process was coffee, beer, and gear, right? So Flanagan's Goat decided they wanted to do their own food truck, and so they left in the beginning of 2019. So we shifted to what our passion was, which was like health and wellness. So when we thought about getting people outdoors and opening that store, the purpose was for health, like getting people moving, and not, instead of having to, people roll their eyes like, oh, I got to exercise to be healthy, it's like getting outdoors and going on a hike. That's healthy. That's mentally healthy. That's physically healthy. Getting on a paddleboard, kayaking, those are great, like, ways to add health, physical health, without really like knowing that you're doing that. So that was kind of a cool thing. In 2019, we shifted and we're like, you know what? We eat healthy and we love healthy, we love healthy foods. That's how we feed our family. So we decided, because Ken was like, oh, what are we going to do? Now that Flanagan's Goat is gone, I'm like, let's just feed people the way we eat. So we brought in boar's head meat. We brought in like smoothie bowls. We did like avocado toast, Buddha bowls. We did all the things that we love. And the coolest thing about doing that, though, like initially we're like, oh my gosh, how are people going to receive this, right?
Right.
But through COVID, right, and people are going, oh my gosh, I've got to build my immune system. I've got to, like everything that we do, like our chai mix that we make is homemade. Our hot cocoa mix is homemade. So a majority of the stuff that we make is homemade, right? And it's dairy free, gluten free. Like, so we're trying to do clean products. So people were starting to understand, especially like doctors' offices, that the things that we're providing are going to add health, for people. So anyway, so the blessing was like that these different businesses, even local businesses, our own local businesses downtown, actually started to come and try our food, like, because a lot of people were shut down. We were shut down for a few days a week, which was something that we'd never done before. So with that being said, like, business owners were gravitating to the businesses that were open on certain days. So certain people were open on, Wednesday through Saturday or whatever the case may be, right? So they started to try our food, and they looked at us and like, oh my God, first of all, didn't know that you had food. Second of all, holy crap, you guys have amazing food. So, so people started, so that was a blessing with it. The challenge was with workers and students, and like, we pay unemployment, but we found that when we were getting shut down to curbside, unemployment does not pay college students, but yet we pay unemployment for college students, so it was a really tough thing. So Ken and I had to really shift, especially coming into this past like fall, winter, right? The cool thing is we kind of had this like a year or so prior to COVID happening, we actually had one of those globes, because we wanted to Ken and I like to do silly, we just like to do things different. Like, you ask our employees, they're like, what are they going to do now? But it's super fun. They love that the experience. So anyway, so we already had a globe. Well, when COVID hit last summer, we're like, okay, let's get a couple more. Well, they jacked the prices up because other people had the same ideas. And so we're like, shoot, so now we're going to pay all this money to get these little globes in, to be able to continue to have our college students working who can't get unemployment.
Wilda, it feels like we're in a better space now. Vaccination rates are coming up. Things are opening up. We're starting to figure out no masks, that sort of dance that we're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
But what do you guys feel this summer is going to be like for you compared to last summer? Because like I said, there was a whole crop of Michiganders that discovered the state in a way that they hadn't before, and I'm wondering if you guys felt any of that, and what do you think will be the echoes of that in this summer and beyond?
That's one other aspect that we haven't really talked about our businesses, that we've got the guide service and rentals for kayaks and snowboards and hiking and snowshoeing and so on and so forth. We want to get people out. So, we saw everybody was just kind of iffy. You had the full range of attitudes, right? People that were like, it's nothing, I'm not wearing a mask, and you see that every day, and it's we stuck to the guidelines pretty closely, but we saw a lot of people, and I'm sitting on Michigan Trails Advisory Council, and we talk about trail usage, and this past year was a banner year for all of those things. People were out on the trails, but with an increased volume of people, you've also got increased maintenance, and when there's demand and things happen, trails get widened, et cetera,
well,
et cetera.
and people they don't know how to take care of a trail. They don't know about packing, packing in and packing out,
Being conscious.
Right, being conscious. So what we loved that people, because that's our passion, right? We want people to get outside, and that was a huge, we thought, oh my God, this is so awesome. People are coming up, they're discovering like the trails, they're getting outside, they're moving. It's what we wanted them to do. The problem was there were so many people that they're like, let's throw garbage here. So we spent days collecting garbage from beaches, and you saw that a lot of locals were like, get those people out of here. Get them out of here. By the end of the season, like they said, shut down the bridge, shut down Wisconsin, any access from Wisconsin to Michigan to the Upper Peninsula, and the bridge to Upper Peninsula, because of the how trashy, like they were just like the amount of garbage. And you know what, Ken and I were like, you know what, you don't know what you don't know. like we have to educate people. And so Ken being on the Michigan Trails Advisory Council, like, and we did see the influx. We saw an awesome influx of people coming to the UP. We met people, so many people from like New York and California and Texas, like all those states that were just shut down. A lot of people gravitated to this area, but they, the blessing is they did see the beauty of what we have. And so we really appreciate that, because they actually, it's them coming and supporting us. So we, that was a huge weight off of our shoulders. So, that helped, I think, to help balance out our business a little bit. But on the other side of that came the knowledge that we have to educate people now to going out and really experiencing the trails.
When I came up in January, you were a tremendous help in me finding trails to hike around, because I had not hiked that area of the UP before. So I can't say enough great things about the work that you two are doing. If people are thinking of coming up this summer, this fall, this coming winter, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? Website, Instagram, where should they find you?
Well, we're at the store a lot of the time.
Yes.
We have a web page. It's birdseyeoutfitters.com. And we also have a Facebook presence as well as an Instagram presence. We haven't jumped the shark yet to hop on TikTok and do anything there. But
is this the part of the interview where I'm supposed to say you guys would kill it on TikTok? Is that what I'm supposed to?
Yeah. We have some awesome people that work for us. We explore all of our the talents that we've got. For employees, and man, it's just amazing. You find artists, you find graphic design people, you find people that are wordsmiths, and if everybody's involved in helping out with what we're doing, then there's more of a buy-in there. There's a sense of pride in it.
Absolutely.
So we've got, point being, we've got people working on Instagram piece and the Facebook piece and the web page and other marketing advertising things, but they're right there. They know it. So who better to speak to it?
I do want to mention one more thing really quick, because we've had people that came up this past winter. So, okay, Outhouse actually, so we put on different events also. So like this past winter, we did a lot of like lighted snowshoe trail events, and people were loving it. And people came from as far down as like, I think Sterling Heights, Michigan. And they're like, we saw that you're doing this, and they came up like on one of the coldest days, but we did it. I mean, it was awesome, because a lighted snowshoe trail is a phenomenal experience. And so at the end of it, we always have like a little fire. We've got like s'mores kits for people, so that when you come off the trail, you can make your own little s'more and just kind of like celebrate your little trek, So another thing though, and one of our biggest events, and we did it in 2019, we weren't able to do it in 2020, obviously because of COVID, but the downtown Sault Ste Marie area is connected by 7 bridges to like the greater Sault Ste Marie area. And so we created 7 Bridges, 7 Brews, and it's a 5K, 10K, and we partner with different breweries. The first year it was Right Brain. This year it's going to be New Holland. And after the race, we do an island themed party, but all those proceeds go towards trail development. And we do have a trail that we recently blazed, and we just got permissions to put a trailhead up. So that's going to be up and coming. That'll be an awesome new trail to be able to explore. But with that trail area, because it's like I think 300 plus acres, we're going to work with an engineer or designer to put a mountain biking trail within that same area. So we're doing like a lot of fun things, and people want to support some of the trail development that we're doing, like jump on 7 Bridges, 7 Brews, or any other like events that we're doing, and you can see that on our Bird's Eye Outfitters Facebook page, or Bird's Eye Out is our Instagram handle, or whatever you call it, and then Outhouse Consortium is also like on we have a website for that, and
Eric, if you run into Isaac over at the Knickerbocker, be sure to thank him, because those guys they're going to be a great partner this year for Seven Bridges, Seven Brews at New Holland.
I will absolutely do that. Ken and Wilda, thank you so much for the time. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
Thanks, Eric.
cool. Thank you. All
See you
right,
guys.
see ya.